to prepare for, I want to call it a worst case scenario, and accommodate and modify their plans to ensure people are safe. And to Nigerians, I want to reiterate what I said earlier. Please vote with your heads and not with your hearts. Voting with your hearts makes you vulnerable to sentiments, petty considerations. Voting with your heads makes you cautionable, makes you logical and security conscious.
Well, let me attempt to go back to Professor Odenkalu again. Hope it's been sorted now that you can hear us. I was thinking about that. Oh dear, we still haven't sorted this out. Okay, well, I'll give our guys time to work on that at the moment. But you're speaking about you saying people voting with their head and not their hearts. But for security agencies, yes, they're all professional. They're not participating in the elections with respect to thumbprinting, I beg your pardon. Yeah, going on to vote. They just have to go out there and ensure that things go out right. But for those who will be going out there to participate, there's so many things could influence all of those. You know, we always say in our opening sequence on this program that politicians are usually very cautious. In this week, any days building up to elections, that any single error could cost some of them votes. Do you think this is one of such? Because I've heard people say, look, he's not a politician, so to that extent, they don't seem to want to hold anything against him. Let me go to Mr. Innocent.
What exactly is the question?
You think that this kind of action will influence the way either they vote with their head or vote with their heart, or they say, listen, in the first instance, this comment ought not to have been made, so whichever way I react to it, that's my kettle of fish?
It's really difficult to pigeonhole how people will respond. We are all human beings and respond to issues differently. Some people might look at it and just shrug off, just like water you pour on a cocoyam leaf, it runs out and doesn't leave a mark. Some people might see it as because when there's something a human being, what makes us human is actually the dignity, you know, that we all carry around. Remove it, there's no difference between us and other species. So people might react, you know, that way. And then the head and the heart, we often have the saying, separate them, but they are all part of a system. We don't know which one influences the other more than the other. It depends on specific situation. But as I said earlier, the hope is that it will be seen as a speech that shouldn't have been made, that has been made, and that people will see it that way and go on to look at the totality of the picture and make up their mind. But I take a silver lining from the speech, because I ask myself, why would a speech like this be made this time? And my takeaway is that actually there's beginning to be a confidence in the electoral process, that actually the votes count. I mean, if it were before, when people sit somewhere and fix results, who will bother to go and talk to people? So it's a confidence in this electoral process and the feeling that, look, these things might go to the wire that is being made. And then more, especially this is an issue we need to take up after this election. What does being a citizen of Nigeria mean? What does it confer? What does it entitle? Where you stay, where you live, where you work? And my hope, again, is that with the comfortable majority the APC government got in the National Assembly, and the caliber of people, some of whom I have, actually many of whom I have worked in civil society and all that, going into this place, that this is an opportunity for us to say, this is just a crap paper that we shouldn't respect, throw away, no matter what it says about Bill of Rights, or it's actually a living document that should guide us in everything that we do, that should give confidence, a sense of belonging to every Nigerian, wherever they like. And we could also change it. I mean, if we feel that what matters more is some other consideration, so long as there's a paper we sign, are we going to live by it or we're not? That's actually, for me, the more important discussion that we need to have after this election.
You know, the other part of it is that security. I mean, many have always said that, look, security is very key in terms of the rule of law, and then how it ought to not be respect our persons, and then laws exist to ensure that things go in order. How much do you think security will be able to bring to bear on this election day? Because people reacting to that comment already looking to security, saying, well, some say, look, in the light of this, I can't come out, all this thing. Okay, I will be galvanized by this. I will come out, whatever happens. So how do you think security will bring themselves to this kind of situation and ensure that, yes, we go out there and do what we have to do as professionals?
For the security agencies, a bit of confidence building won't be out of place. To make people understand, to reiterate the stand that the status quo as it was with the presidential elections will be maintained. Having done it before, repeating it shouldn't be a problem. We may only just kind of galvanize what was already there, just in case any surprises spring up. And I can assure you that security-wise, these things are key. As a country, when we talk security, we talk national security. But one of the sub-components of national security is ethnic security. And if ethnic security cannot be seen to sit in any part of this country, then we cannot, at the end of the day, get that optimal national security index we want to have. So this is a very sore point that has been touched, and a lot of confidence should actually be built back. People should be made to feel at home wherever they are and vote. And one thing that I have seen from the responses I have gotten, or from the responses I have read, is that the average citizen is still not, the average citizen hasn't lost the fact that, all said and done, his power is that vote. That vote in his pocket is what is going to count. It doesn't matter what has been said or who said it. At the end of the day, people are going to go and place that singular vote they have where they want it to be.
Well, one key thing you said there is ethnic security. And let's take a break, and then we'll come back and get more comments on this one. Join us again.